What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Power Connect. Pan on Power TV to the DStv channel 278, GOtv channel 19. Allow me to introduce, my name is Suecey Chigelo Chaku Kopala. On today's episode, our conversation is going to be around music, but also looking at it from the perspective of a DJ. My guest on today's episode is DJ Suecey. He's an award-winning artist. Adwinama accolades Zayen. At some point, he was Yo Maps' official DJ, has traveled the world to put Zambia kuchalo. So make sure to be a part of the conversation via our social media and for Power TV Zambia. Contact Kumaya. And I'm going to contact my questions, DJ Suecey. Feel free to write to him. For now, I'm going to take a short musical break. On the other side, he's going to be joining me, Muchimunzi ni Power. Welcome back. My guest on today's episode is a renowned award-winning DJ, the only international superstar Zambia. Intro, I would like you to know that I had a gun to my head to say the things I'm saying. DJ Suecey, how are you? How are you doing? Award-winning, the only I forgot one thing. Sorry, I'll start. My guest on today's episode is an international award-winning DJ, the only DJ in Africa to open for Neo. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the one, the only DJ Suecey. Pew, 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 pew. Was that good?
You tried. Yeah. You get in there.
Yeah. Intro is avuta. Nasha question. Well-traveled, very exposed.
Wow.
Money making.
Wow.
I'm trying to see what I left. But how are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. You alright?
I'm good. I'm so excited to host you.
Thank you for having me.
Have I ever hosted you?
No.
No, I've never hosted you.
You've never hosted me.
And I realized today when you're coming.
I don't know why it took so many years, but I'm not the type to reach out, so.
Yeah. You wait for the works to speak for themselves until they reach out.
Yes.
You're like, okay, now let me go on the platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Suecey, totera sana Papa TV Vietnam wisa kwadero.
Na totera for having me.
How you know the way you're sounding right now, and it clicked today. I mean, I've always known this, but it clicked today. I was like, I come from Muflira with Suecey.
Yeah, move down.
People would never know Ruakuronsonga.
I think we both don't look like we come from there.
I don't know when people say that.
Type, hipster.
I was catching up in one of your interviews and you said that you don't like wearing designer clothes unless they're legit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you wearing right now?
It's just some common brands, African brands actually. So this is from Zara, Markham, Butter.
Nice. Why do you not like wearing luxury brands?
Because if I don't, it looks like you're trying so hard. It's especially coming from a country like Zambia where we don't have Gucci, Louis, you know, all these big luxury brands.
I hear you. What about the people that just travel and they can afford to go and buy from the stores?
What's that fira monikate?
I mean, I know that. So the reason why I wanted to understand what your reasoning has always been behind that, I know people who have money. So in that we're rich and wealthy, and people who have actual money don't actually wear labels if they can't afford the actual stuff.
Exactly.
I know that.
So a guy like me who's not super rich, gonna follow a Gucci t-shirt, but if you see it from a person like, which example can I give? Okay, like an Oscar Skido, for example. Ngana for a Gucci by Gucci, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the only reason. Otherwise, I'm not competitive, so man.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
If you can't afford it, don't wear it.
Don't wear it.
Hey, listen, sometimes if you feel like you never afforded one thing, just wear it. If it's in Kamala, it's shining, wear it. That's all I'm saying.
Goose.
Go Adishba.
Goose.
Uchi. Louis Vuitton. So if you want to have your for it, as long as it looks like it. But you know what? It's so interesting. Now you're so accomplished. And, you know, from traveling the world and playing on big stages, playing alongside a lot of big artists, people might not understand that, Suecey, it was a process and it was a journey. So I want to know, because I understand that you also have a corporate background. When it comes to school, like you had a corporate job. So I want to know where your love for music comes and where you decide to say, wait, Inyapa, from just handling what I'm handling, doing the books, I just want to do music.
So obviously, okay, so the love for music started way back, like when obviously I was very young, like way too young. I tried all sorts of things, singing, rapping.
I was waiting for
but but I sucked at it. So the rapping thing didn't really work out. Obviously,
what was your rap
I didn't even try.
You didn't try to rap?
No, I didn't even try to come up with a name.
So
It's one of those things where you're listening to Jaru, DMX and them. So you try to mimic them and come up with your own lyrics. But anganafim for nafimba kuba nanda no.
Varekana.
So I tried that. I tried to audition for radio as well. I've always wanted to be in the entertainment space, media space and whatnot. So I tried radio as well. I was dropped 5 times.
Where is this? Like, where are you trying for radio? Copper Belt,
FM. I auditioned about 3 to 5 times and I wasn't picked.
You need to call Mr. Tonga.
Of course. Now he's a phone call away. You see God. Now he's a phone call away. Yeah.
So you tried to audition how many times?
5 times I was dropped.
5 times at Ya.
I wasn't good enough.
And I know Ya FM on the Copper Belt has been so big for so many years.
Yes.
Like you get to Copper Belt, that's what people listen to.
It's the biggest.
Yes.
It's the most listened to actually.
Yes. So you just wanted to be on Ya.
I just wanted to be on
What did they tell you the problem was?
Akashinga chisungu ngani shinga tabani temino efye mfulira kaide.
Wadishwa?
Kakumfulira takapuyirika. So I tried that. I tried Wizon as well. I really wanted to be on Wizon. So when I think people like Kachinga left, I thought there was a loop there. But you know, being a kid from Mufulira, then Kitwe, you needed some kind of connections. So I tried to join what they were calling the fan club, but I only went there for like 2 to 3 weeks. Na someone afenje tafia kachitika. No, because you know sometimes growing up in a setting like Kitwe. Okay, let me just say Mufulira, where you're like Kalevo Kariapate. So confidence to actually get to mingle with the upper Mwambas was a little bit under 50, you know. So yeah, so I tried that. But in all these processes, right? The biggest thing I wanted to do is DJ.
Oh, okay.
So Naena Food, same thing. I tried it here and there, but then the thing is, when I started, I think that was sometime in 2009 actually, 8, 9, somewhere there. So when I started, Nadesha, like I tried different clubs as well, right?
Yeah.
Some would pick me, but remember, Quito is a city where you have like 3 clubs.
Yes, it's very different now. Huh? Not if where we have variety now.
Variety, yeah, we've got options now. But those days, quite a few, but you are competing against 68 guys.
Yeah.
Then, para when 68, parina baraba kwa tibari pisha funika bemba manyimbo shanshan.
Oh yeah, because on the comment about shout outs,
it was 2 minutes of the song, my shout outs. Yeah. So I tried that as well, but. And then I think I was gonna make it still, but I think the only thing that sort of slowed down the process is the fact that I had a corporate job at the time. But I really just wanted to do it. So fast forward a couple of years later, when I moved to Lusaka, that's when I decided to take it on
seriously, full
time, and yeah,
just go in. Who taught you how to DJ?
I wouldn't point at one person because, like I said, Quito is very small.
Yeah.
So access to gear is a problem. Let's start from there. Access to professional gear is a problem.
Yeah.
I think at the time the only club that had Pioneer 900 CDJs was Insomnia. One club. The entire city.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. So Apa maybe DJ folks will show you, okay, play pause button and so to cue a song and so. Then you go to like a DJ case, another DJ, another DJ, just like that. So I've passed through so many hands. And Sambisha Kochumo, then also even just home practice, research and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when the craft moved digital, laptops, the first thing I did was buy a laptop, download virtual DJ, and I started from there.
Yeah. Okay, so also I want to know, so you're learning all these things, there's different DJs who've got a different kind of set or a deck and you have to go there. Right now, when DJs play, there's a huge connection. I know you connect through the music, but this time, dances, there's a lot of things that you get to do with the crowd. How was the scene then when you were coming up? And also, like, you spoke about confidence. Were you as confident that every time you played, you're just like the vibe, or you're just in the shadows?
So I think at the time, the confidence levels were not as big as they are now. But yeah, you correct me. My confidence levels at the time, this time around, because obviously we had big names in the game.
Yeah.
So you as a guy who, I'll give an example, K+. When I approached K+, funny story. When I approached K+, at the I was just like, boy, why is you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so at the time, I remember, we're talking about confidence, right? When I was just starting out, there was this gang of guys that were sort of popular in Kitwe. They were not DJs. I think they worked for the office of the president.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, Kitwe being a very small town. And there's a switcher who's just trying out. So obviously, so every time they saw me playing, they used to boo me.
The same guys from
the same guys.
Why?
I don't like I just don't look like I could be a star or like I could be. This is something I've never shared on a public platform anyway.
Yeah.
So what about Uledisha? Because sometimes I would ask the event promoters to say, okay, before Tachira Diva, which is like maybe a show, for example, a show which is like at Mindolo Dam, for example. So I'd ask the promoter to say, I'll open at 10 until 16, until the first act comes in, right? So I'll be playing the whole time. For me, Nanishidechta practice. The moment those guys walk in there, we're not Basona, and we're boo, woo. And it happened not once, not twice, not 5 times. They kept on doing the same thing. But there were the reason as to why every time I finished playing, I would go home, sometimes sob in the car.
That's hectic.
Yeah, but then when I get home, I'll just put on my headphones and just try to perfect my craft. Yeah. It had nothing to do with my style of playing. It was just pure hate. So the reason you're aware that you don't look the part. And they'll point at other people like, now Emma DJs about team way. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That is so hectic. Where are the guys now? Do you know?
They're here and they keep saying they're so proud of me.
What do you say? Do they know this story?
They do. I think I'd once shared it with them when I moved to Lusaka. And actually, the first time this guy told me that he was so proud of me, I was like, oh, but remember what you used to do? Yeah. That used to hurt me a lot. Yeah.
Then he said sorry?
Nah.
Like you laughed it off as boys?
Yeah, we just laughed it off as boys. But that actually meant a lot to me, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I grew from there, and this is the switcher you're seeing now.
Yeah, so let's talk about leaving your corporate job. Because I understand, at least I'll speak from, on the copper belt or in Muflira, there's a way that children are raised. So arts in Muflira was not a very big thing because we didn't have platforms.
Yes.
So how then do you convince your parents or the people around you to say, like, how was that decision, and also how did that happen?
Okay, so I moved to Lusaka. I called a very good friend of mine, K+. I was like, yo, bro, I'm in Lusaka now. I don't know a lot of people here. I'm broke AF, and I need a platform. Yeah. Right? So he's the one that directed me to Granddaddy's because he knew somebody there and they wanted to hire him, but he was busy setting up a radio station. So it was like, no, I've got a guy. He's just as good. So put him on, right? So when that happened, I pushed for like a year. And I kept my corporate job. But then I realized I was making more money doing what I personally love to do than
the corporate job. Okay.
That's number one. So, secondly, it was a thing where I'm thinking, Kunchto, I'm required to report as early as 7. And I'm supposed to knock off at 5, but it was like almost illegal for you to knock off at 5 because my boss yeah. So I realized I needed more time to do other things as well, you know, and also growth. Because if you do the math, if for example if your salary is 5K, for example, 5 by 12 is how much? That's how much you make. That's how much you make in a year. But on the street, you actually get a better chance of making more money. I'm not saying you should quit your job, but you need to have some kind of a fallback plan. But my main focus is just time. Like I just really needed more time to focus on other things as well. So I felt like it was taking away from my potential, you know what I mean?
Working in the corporate space, what did you work as?
I was in admin and I tried a bit of claims.
Okay, so fast forward. So Granddaddy's is your first gig?
Granddaddy's is my first biggest gig in Lusaka. And I think I proved myself 3-4 months after. Because I started, things just started changing, man. In 2019 was like my biggest year. Well, every year keeps on improving. But like 2019 for me was my biggest break because when I moved to Lusaka, everything just skyrocketed. January, first week of Feb, I got myself that gig at Granddaddy's. Pushed for like 3 months. I received a phone call from Pernod Ricard.
Oh, okay.
To play for Shivaz. And I was like, oh, these guys are actually watching. I've always wanted to be on that platform, right? So that was the first time I was on the same lineup with people like Cleo Ice Queen, you know, Runtown from Nigeria, Shan Shan. It was like a very small house party, but they invited a couple of influencers and whatnot. It was in Kingsland. So that's when I realized I really needed to take this thing seriously, right? But I still had my day job at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I started pushing from there. Next thing, Jameson Connect. Next thing, Shan. Next thing, Shan. Next thing, I'm playing in SA. In that same year, 2019.
So 2019 is the first time you traveled to SA to go and play?
Yes.
Okay.
So in that year, I went there twice. The first time, the company that I used to work for sent me there, so I was there for 7 days. And that was the first time I got on a plane, 2019. Then, a couple of months later, I went there to play. Because I had a connect that I had somebody that knew somebody that owned the club. So
they got you there.
Exactly.
Okay. So now you're a multi-genre artist when you are a DJ. So when you're playing, you touch on this, you touch on that. So I also want to know why sometimes DJs tend to specialize. Like if they say, and this person is very specific to this genre, why have you decided to just keep it open for yourself?
One reason. You actually get to stand out in a world where people want to stick to one thing. I'll give an example. I was not going to get that Stanbic Music Festival gig if I wasn't a multi-genre DJ, right?
Yeah.
Though I'm trying to branch off now.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So, you actually get to play at different gigs because you can touch on each and everything. So that's more gigs for you, right? More platforms, more better platforms, especially in a country like Zambia where when you get hired, people here, even club promoters don't even believe in this thing of just having a DJ that only plays one genre.
One genre, yeah.
So when I was learning this, I started off as a hip hop DJ, but I started practicing other genres as well, and I realized with my name, I could actually switch in between genres. So I was like, let me just embrace this thing. But the biggest thing is just about the money, if I'm being honest.
As a rapper, you didn't have a name. As a DJ, DJ Switcher. Where did the name come from?
I went for these auditions. So we were given 5 minutes to prove ourselves, right? So in that 5 minutes, we had people that only played house. I did say 5 minutes, I didn't mix a house, but I switched in between different genres. I played hip hop into Afrobeat, R&B, and then at first I used to call myself DJ Dope Beats.
What is your Dope Beats?
Yeah, but then it was a bit of a mouthful, you know.
Yeah.
So the guy that was auditioning us was like, I love the way you switched it up. I'm like, I switched it up. Okay. What's your name again? I was like, Dope Beats. He was like, quite a mouthful.
Yeah.
So I looked at him, I'm like, quite a mouthful. I was like, okay, anyway. When I got home, it got me thinking. I was like, and then I was like, you know what, let me try and change. Then that guy was like, oh, I remembered what he said. He said, I switched it up nicely. So I was like, should I call myself Switch It Up? Or Switch? No, Switcher. And I've never looked back.
DJ Switcher. Now fast forward, you are in your superstardom. And people, and I wanted us to have that conversation just so people understand that the process is important for where you're going, for the journey, and, you know, to get into a point where you're achieving. 2024, you do amazing things. DJ Switcher. You know, you were getting endorsements, you were flying out left, right, and center. So I'm going to touch base on a few things, and I know they're going to sort of interconnect, right? So I want to talk about the birthing of Switcher's House, which is a big thing, and I think that's why you said you are looking at specializing now when it comes to your sound. So I want to know where the idea of having Switcher's House comes from.
Okay, so I realized, you know, when we are, you are in a setting like Zambia, right? There's only so much you can do for your brand.
Yeah.
I figured I've been on almost each and every stage in the country, right? So I realized one thing. I was like, okay, after this, then what? It's either I go international and only come back home to play at maybe 2 or 3 gigs in a year.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. That's actually, not that that's what I wanted, that's what I want. I want a situation where when I'm on tour somewhere, the only time I come back home for a week or 2 is when I'm doing Switcher's House. So before that, I was like, what if I come back in a month where there's no gig? So I'd rather even just create my own gig.
Yeah.
So I started bouncing off names, and I was like, why can't I also just make, because the point is to make the brand grow, right?
Yeah.
So I can't call it any other thing apart from something that has my name attached to it. That's how I came up with Switcher's House.
Okay, so before we get into the conversation of artists you've collaborated with, those that have flown in, and other DJs, we're going to take a short musical break. When we return, DJ Switcher is still my guest, so we'll talk about him catching flights, going to the Def Jam studios, you know, going to BBC Extra, and more right here on Power TV.
Z.
Welcome back. The name is DJ Switcher. You don't know.
Yes, sir.
No, we have to remember that kind of thing. It's always there. It's always there. Like, DJs always have something.
It's not going anywhere.
Right?
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
It's always there. Now, before the break, we were talking about Switcher's House and where the idea came from. So now, over time, you've had collaborations with, you've put a lineup of local DJs, but you've been so intentional about also collaborating with people outside Zambia. So I want to talk about it from the aspect of networking. Then you marry it with the aspect of just business and bringing them so that you tap into a certain audience and have a certain crowds come to your events.
Is that a question?
Yes, I want you to talk to me about, because I understand that sometimes when you write to people without a sense of familiarity, or there's no link to somebody that you sort of know, it's hard to get to people internationally. So now DJ Switcher has gotten to a point where your name is, you know, it sort of speaks for yourself. You've been on stages. So maybe I'll, you know, point out a couple of people. So maybe I'll start with Zanda. You had her here. And how did it happen? How did you manage to bring her here?
So first time I met Zanda Zakuza was through a friend of mine, gospel artist, Ebo Chungu.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how they met, where they met from, but when she came to Zambia with Master KG, Ebo saw the need to link us up.
Oh, okay, nice.
Then, when I went to South Africa that same year, I went to the Africori party. Amon, main major, introduced me to her again.
Again?
Yes.
Ah.
Next thing, when I got approached by this promoter that took us to the UK, Mr. Magodi, I just noticed there was a Zanda Zakuza on the poster, and I was like, oh my God, this girl again?
Yeah.
So so I flew to SA somewhere around April last year. Obviously a week before, in readiness for my trip. So I reached out on Instagram. I was like, you know what, this is a sign. I know we're going to the UK together, but we may as well link up for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or whatever. So she was cool with it. So we linked up at some restaurant. We ate. We had a conversation. We spoke about a lot of things about the industry, the game, and whatnot. Until Friday came, actually Thursday, when we had to fly to the UK. Even on the flight itself, we were just connecting, talking about music, about growth. So we connected so much to a point where, look, Zanda is such a big artist, right?
Yeah.
And Switcher's House being a growing movement, this is somebody that actually believed or believes in the brand.
Yeah.
So even when I suggested that she comes to perform, she didn't even charge what she was supposed
normally
to
charge.
Yeah, because of the relationship that I had created with her, right? And that's why networking is important. Every time I'm in SA, I'm meeting people, I'm talking to people. I'm just trying to connect, you know, for obviously for my personal benefits, but the bigger picture is just about growing the brand as well. Being a people person is sort of the reason why I am where I am today. Because if I was that guy,
give me I want you to give us like a tip of, in the sense of networking, because especially for artists that maybe are big in Zambia, you go outside and people don't know who you are, and some people are not comfortable being okay with being small in a space where people don't know you because you already have superstar stuck in your head. How do you get in these spaces, and also how do you just say, hey, listen, I'm DJ Switcher, but shani. So how do you, like, what's the approach? What stance do you take?
I always have to humble myself. Every time I'm approaching a bigger DJ or a bigger celebrity, but one, I'm in their country, I'm in their space, number one. So it's so stupid of me to go there and say, oh, hi, my name is Switcher, I'm a big DJ in Zambia. So then, dude, why are you talking to me? If you're a big DJ, where you come from, how come I don't know you? You know what I'm saying? So usually I'll go there. I mean, even when I met Casper Nyovest, the first thing I did was I called him by his government name. That was the only, I called him by his government name so he can, just to get his attention.
He's like,
he's like, what?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, big fan from Zambia, I'm a DJ, what. Okay, sharp, let's take a picture, type thing. I use the same approach to almost each and everyone. Oskambo, Cairo, Zanda Zakuza, Amara Brown, Bonsabi Febo na kumanya mu industry, like even Anati on the SS side, even AKA, Nadia Nakai, all of them. I just go there and I'm like, yo, I'm a big fan, I'm a DJ from Zambia. So the moment you say you're a DJ from Zambia, they'll be like, oh, okay, what's your name? So it's either they'll follow you back and to some, if I really have time, I sort of, you know, we connect on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
When they follow you back. But Ngatwashimika sana even ask for their contact. Then they'll start seeing what I'm posting. And they sort of get interest to actually try and connect.
Okay, so obviously you leave your corporate job, now you're a big time DJ. And I love the fact that you touched base on what you post. Branding, very big aspect now, and also being very intentional on building your social media numbers, right? So talk to me about that. Like, how intentional are you with the content that you put out, especially Pama socials? Yeah, but another brand can see, this brand can come in form of a company that would like to collaborate, or an individual that feels like, oh, we have watched it.
Look, one, branding is costly.
Talk about it. Yeah.
Branding costs money, right?
Yeah.
So there's certain days when I just feel like I'm unmotivated and I don't want to post anything. But just for the fact that I know there's somebody watching, I need to wake up, dress up, and post something at least.
Yeah.
So I'm not very big on posting, but it's some, look, you know, Kopendekat, I'm going somewhere. If I wasn't in this industry, I wouldn't do that because that's not who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I have to do it because I know there's somebody watching. So, dude, the first day I go to America, I even know the song that I'll attach as to the reel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have to be very intentional about everything. You plan everything from your outfits to the first post up until the last post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I also just try to stay away from things that will sort of jeopardize how people look at me. You know, like the places I go to, the people I mingle with, and also what I post on social media. I'm a very opinionated person, but sometimes I choose not to comment or you know, you just have to be super intentional about it. You can't insult, you can't do certain things in public, especially when there are cameras around. So just that has always been me.
Okay, so you've had a lot of firsts in the recent past. I mean, you went to the bushfire in Eswatini, you were at the DStv Delicious Festival in SA.
Yes, sir.
DJ Switcher last year was in Australia, he was in the UK. How many times were you in the UK last year? Twice? Once?
The UK once.
Once. Where did you go twice last year? Oh, were you in Bali last year?
So last year I did Australia. I did Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, and Brisbane. So I did about 5 cities there.
Yeah.
Then when I came back, I went to the UK. I only played in Manchester. I mean, in Birmingham.
I
said I'm Burna Boy's cousin.
Oh, Burna Boy's cousin.
Yeah. So I did Birmingham.
Yeah.
Then obviously I was shooting Mutale's. I was part of Mutale Mwanza's. I featured on Mutale Mwanza's reality show. So we shot that in London, and then I went to Manchester to see a friend, and then Sheffield's as well. Then that's all about the UK.
Yeah.
But then 2 weeks after, I went to play in Bali. I think a month after, I played at MTN Bushfire. And then 2 months after, I played in Nairobi. So it's just been, DStv Delicious Festival as well.
Yes, you did. I want to talk about that one specifically, right? And I know all of those are big, but I want to talk about the DStv Delicious Festival because I understand they really merge a lot of African culture. How was that for you?
It was a big move for me, man.
Yeah.
Like so the way the setup is, there's different. So there's the main stage where Jason Derulo and Busta Rhymes were performing, but I did Coke Studio.
Ah, okay.
Yes, they have their own section, their own people, their own crowd. I saw a couple of celebrities there, and it was a big move for me. So on each and every section you see, there's like something that is culturally different from how we do things down here. There's a section for like hip hop, there's a section for house, there's a section for shiny, just like that.
Okay, so where did you play? So Coke Studio, was
Coke
it specific?
Studio.
Was
Yeah.
it specific?
It
Like, did
was-
you have a genre?
So the first, because I did 2 nights there. The first night I did a bit of everything. It was an open set.
Yeah.
Then the second day I played house. Because I looked at the lineup, I opened for Moda.
Oh, okay.
Moda Bone. So I
Yeah.
was like, let me build it up for him so that when he comes, he just comes.
The
takes
crowd
over.
is already catching on.
Exactly.
So when a lot of people now speak about Zambia Kuchalo, you're taking us there just by identifying as a Zambian person, but also being able to play music. Do you get to play Zambian songs in the sets, or are we just thinking you are entitled to playing a song, but maybe does not fit into the crowd or the audience or the genre or what you've been asked to do?
In most cases, okay, there are certain countries I've been to, like when I played in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
I played a lot of Zambian music. You know why? Because when I was there, some of the clubs, a lot of Zambians in Dubai are quite friendly. And they were so happy that for the first time they saw a Zambian DJ playing there.
Yeah.
So baden konka konse kona so I'd fit in. I'd throw in a couple of, you know, like a Afnika song here, Yomap song, and. I think in a 1 hour set, I would even play like 4 to 5 Zambian songs, just because one, there were Zambians in there, but there were certain clubs where I would go to and there's no Zambian, but I know this song sort of fit, like Afrobeats, for example. A lot of Zambians are doing that sound, right? So I'd throw in a Yo Maps here and there, I'd throw in a J Cash, and people would be like, Ninyimbo Bwanji, that type of thing. Yeah. But there are certain places you go to and Zambian music won't fly at all. People will look at you funny when you play a Zambian song.
Why is that? What do you think that is?
I'll give an example of South Africa, man. I've been there 98 times, and I've never heard a Zambian song being played that side. Obviously, because South Africans are so, they keep to themselves. They love their own sound. They love their own sound. They love their kwaito. They love their deep house, and that's all they play. That's all they promote. Even actually, at some point, I think there's actually a law that says you have to play 98%, or is it 90% of
South African music.
South African music then. So there's certain clubs you go to, if they're playing hip hop, is it Ice Spice, Sexy Red, you know, those people. But any other genre,
98% of the time it has to be that.
It has
what
to
do you
be South
think?
African music.
So I like the fact that you brought up that point where South Africa has set the standard, and they've said doesn't matter where you're coming from, here if you're going to play, it's going to be this. Why do you feel we don't have that? Because I understand I've been to a lot of chilling spots, and you go there, sometimes there's spots in Zambia that don't even play Zambian music.
Two things, the fans and the club owners. And also the fact that Zambian music doesn't have an identity. We don't have we're not known for anything. Let me ask you a question. What is Zambian music? You won't answer me because Zambian music doesn't have a proper identity.
I feel like it's just very multi-genre, but I think the basics are the instrumentation.
You know why Nigerians are doing so well? Because they came up with a sound, and that sound was nice enough to be exported, right?
Okay.
South Africa, same thing. Actually, in Africa, South Africa has been the originator of so many sounds, from house to deep house to kwaito to amapiano now, and.
Okay. Who in Zambia do you think is doing music that could potentially be a standout sound?
I think Rooster, It's a standout sound. Meaning something we've never heard before?
Yeah, or like if it plays in a certain space, it will catch someone's attention, they would want to listen. Because if you're saying that we don't have an identity when it comes to music, obviously a lot of the music that we do taps into other sounds that are already existing, yes. But right now, which artist do you feel like, oh, if you had a we sound that I think it will catch people's attention because it's nice, it sounds a little different?
Definitely Rooster. I'd also say Yo Maps as well. Because I've been, okay, so I'll give an example of countries like Kenya. Kenya plays a lot of Yo Maps' music and Roberto.
Yeah.
Dubai, because obviously, sometimes you walk into a club and they don't know you, right? But what I'm for Yo Maps today, especially that song with KOK.
Banapanya.
I was so shocked. I heard it in like what? I think about 2 to 3 clubs in Dubai playing that one particular song.
Nice.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely Rooster, Yo Maps. I think they understand what they're doing, and they actually have a chance of penetrating into the international market.
International market. Why do you want to specialize now in terms of your sound?
House.
Yeah. Why do you? Yes, you wanna. Why do you want to take that route?
I feel like, first of all, I fell in love with the sound so much, and I just love how connected because house music is has a niche crowd, right? I just love everything about the culture. One, there's no violence. People are so well connected and united. Even just the DJs themselves.
Yeah.
House music DJs don't concentrate on how they are looking in terms of Fuala. It's like they just pull up and just rock the crowd and that's it. So the house music culture doesn't demand so much from you as an individual.
Yeah.
But if you want to do hip hop, you need to dress a certain way. You need to. It's like house allows you to be yourself. Even when you're dancing, you're allowed to be yourself. But we come from homes where maybe twerking is prohibited.
Yeah.
That only applies in hip hop, but you can attend the house music event and still be yourself because you won't twerk there. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of the main reason as to why I'm branching off to house is because I love the sound so much, more than what I started with. I love house music so much. That's why I want to do Afrotech, and that's part of the reason why I started doing Switchers House, because the fact that I don't identify as a house DJ in Zambia, getting onto a house lineup was sort of difficult at first, you know. So I sort of needed to sort of prove myself. But how do I prove myself? Create my own event,
yeah,
and play what I want to play.
Okay.
You know?
So from creating your own event, I want to know, when is Switcher producing his first song? Because somebody told me that, oh no, to be a DJ is just not to go and play. DJs are actually producers. They're actual producers. So they bring different artists on a record, and they make the sound and they do that. So when is Switcher giving us a first DJ Switcher record?
I dropped something sometime in December.
You dropped Switcher? Where did you promote it?
It doesn't have a music video. And there's
I
something.
haven't seen it on your socials.
Yeah, there's something that needed to be done with that song. There's something that needed to be done because I'm not alone on the song. It's myself, Chilulemba Mumbayachi, and another DJ called DJ Ofi Cooper. I think he's based in South Africa. Yeah, so we just dropped it last year. There's something that I wanted us to do. Like I wanted us to change up a few things, then be able to put it out. So that's why I haven't really promoted it that much. But I'm dropping something next month, right before Switchers House. I think 2 weeks before the next Switchers House, which is on the 20th of April.
I was going to get into Switchers House this year because I know that last year you closed it off with a bang. You know, you had DJs from all over the world. Switcher is doing the things. Also, what did you learn when you went to Def Jam? Because I know we're nearing the end of our interview. What did you learn when you went to Def Jam? What did you go and do there?
So when I went to Def Jam, obviously I just went there for like a little tour. But then I also got an opportunity to attend the Def Jam bootcamp.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there I sort of connected with. So what they do is they hire a very big house, like maybe 7 or 10 bedrooms, right?
Oh, okay.
So they have like 2 rooms for amapiano producers, another 2 for R&B and hip hop, another 2 for Shani. So I was just there learning more about the culture, how to produce, how to write, how to do all sorts of things. And then we had a couple of speakers from the Grammy Academy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We had one from there. We had the head of marketing for TikTok Africa.
Okay.
And a couple of speakers, man. So there was just so much to learn and connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you're applying today.
That I'm applying today, yeah.
Okay.
And I also met some cool people, man. Black Diamond, Blackie.
At this
Shea
point,
Gold.
Black Diamonds should be Zambian. At this point.
I know.
Yeah, at this point, we're going to give them names. But you know what? Quickly, we're touching on Suecey's house. Last year, you ended off with a bang. You had a lot of DJs that came on and were part of your lineup. 2025, we've started the year. Also, I know that you've been wanting to open a DJ Suecey school. And I know it has to be, how far have we gone with that? And I know that you did say that you wanted to get into it 2025.
So I'm actually starting renovations on Monday.
Okay.
And I think I'll be ready in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully first week of March. I already have about 5 students.
I want to be a student. Do you know what I'll be called?
Chigelo Chaku Kopala.
So say the Dunka DJ.
Is that what you want to play?
Just be playing Dunka. Like, you know how, like, piano is like, people play piano. When they came on, like, we're so fascinated with the dances. They do this chants and we'll sing and whatever. Gavafiap. Michael Tolo was caught shaking. That's what I'm saying. But you know what? So you have 5 students so far.
I have 5 students so far, and I'm actually encouraging everyone to enroll, to be good for you, because growing up, some of us didn't have a chance to actually attend an actual school where I learned that along the way on one of one of my visits to SA. I had to attend class. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got certified.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's what I want to apply here. You're not only learning how to DJ, you're also learning about branding, how to carry yourself, obviously, and how to sell yourself outside the country, etc. So it's gonna be something.
Okay. Talk to me about opening for Neo.
Opening for Neo. You know that's not something that I intentionally saw coming or
because
pushed for.
day one was your show. You know that?
Yeah.
Like it was your day.
Yeah. No, I was so you know I've always wanted to be on the Stanbic Music Festival stage.
Yeah.
And then when that opportunity came, and I was the only DJ, I was like, these people see flames.
Let me show them.
Let me show them. And I did that.
Yeah.
And I did that. The sound was a little bit compromised because of the changeovers, but I was like, it's not going to stop me still. Let me go.
We're going to do this.
We're going to do this, yeah. And I killed it. I love to believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So what stage would you like to get on that you haven't gotten on yet?
This year?
Just in general. It can happen this year. Any manifestation, ka?
I want to jump on Tomorrowland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dream big. It's possible.
Tomorrowland. I want to be the first Zambian to... I like what El did, man. Bless his soul. You know, El has played at Ultra.
Yes, El has been doing amazing things when it comes to taking Zambia to the world. And I think he's very slept on, based on, maybe it could be a sound thing. It could be that maybe the primary consumers of music in Zambia are accustomed to a certain type of genre. But he's doing amazing things.
He is doing amazing things. Creative Natives as well.
Yes. Yes.
Sebastian Dutch. Bengi. But yeah, these guys are really pushing. But definitely Tomorrowland.
Okay.
I want to rock that stage.
Come on now, award-winning international DJ Suecey. He's done amazing things, and I wanted us to establish your story so that people understand where you're coming from and how far you've come and getting here. He was also at some point, you were your Maps' official DJ.
Yeah.
Yes, you were. When you were dropping Try Again, you were the guy.
Yes.
You were the guy, yes. He's come a long way, built his brand. I hope you've learned a thing or two, but don't forget that Suecey's house Switcher's School rather, DJ Switcher's School is opening very soon. So in Raw, he's your guy. Do they reach out to you via your socials?
Yeah, reach out to me via my socials, and I think even the school itself is going to have its own...
It's on social media platforms.
Because I don't really want to fully attach myself
to school. Are you getting help?
To work. Yes, I'm definitely getting help. I can't do it alone, guys.
Yeah.
There's power in collaborations, so yeah.
Okay, so we hope to see more endorsements this year. Switch's house with the bang. Who's coming for the first one?
I can't announce that yet.
Why not? We want to be there. But Switcher, thank you so much for stopping by. I want to see more nominations this year, the music. We have so many things to look forward to, but keep going, keep flying the Zambian flag high. And we're so excited. Power is your home. Switch close for us.
I'm going to clap. I don't want to clap.
Just do it.
Yo, thank you for watching. The name is DJ Switcher, and keep watching Power TV. Muchimunzi Nizi. Thank you for having me, man.
You're hired.
I'm trying. I'm getting there, see?